Alright, game 5? 5. And the board looks very, very nice. It looks like you could include every single card on the board into your deck. It seems like you want to do that, right? There's keep on the side. Keep um, often results in treasure struggles between you and your opponent, because if you have greater than or equal to number of treasure or type of treasure in your deck, you get rewarded for that. A lot of reward actually, 5 points. It's nearly like province. And baths are one of the strange landmarks to me. You get 2 points if you gain nothing in your turn. I don't know when you're gaining nothing, but oh well. So I am going to try to thin down and then build a torturer train, and then after the torturer chain is finished, we will see what to do from there. Maybe go for giants or something. We'll just see. But thin and then torture your opponent. That's what you want to do, right? So I open with the doctor on 4 coins and trash one thing off the top of my deck. However, my opponent has a slightly better turn, getting the doctor overpay by 2 and trashing 2 estates off the out of their deck. So we both have a lurker and a doctor. However, he has trashed a bit more than me and trashed estates on top of that. So here, my plan is to get a couple lurkers and try to get them together in the same hand. Hopefully the doctor can accommodate for that by getting rid of cards from your deck, like how my opponent did there. Very nice. By turn 3, half his starting cards is gone. That's excellent. And I start to feel a little bit lost at this point in the game, just because of seeing that stuff, right? So here, I see a single lurker, so it means that I don't want to put anything attractive in the bin, because then my opponent could just fish it out with his lurker. So I just trash a doctor for fun's sake. I didn't have to play the lurker, for example, right? And I pick up another lurker. I think I have 3 lurkers now, so there should be a reasonable chance that I'm able to pair lurkers and then, you know, trash farming village, regain farming village on the same turn. In fact, maybe more accurate, more precise is to not trash the doctor, because I see the state of my opponent's deck. He's way ahead on the trashing and on development, so I would need more time in the game, and lowering the doctor pile makes the game shorter, so I shouldn't be doing that technically, but whatever. It's fun to trash doctors, so that's what I'm doing. So here, look, this was a bit of a mouse slip from me. I didn't mean to buy the estate. I guess I accidentally double clicked when I named the estate off my doctor. I planned to buy nothing there, pick up 2 points from the baths, and that would better my chances of pairing lurkers in subsequent turns. However, I notice now that I bought the estate and was a little bit confused. My opponent thought it was a clever move. I mean, I don't think it's clever. You add junk to your deck, you space out your lurkers, you deny yourself 2 points. I mean, why would I want an estate at this point in the game, right? There's no reason for me to pick up an estate there, but that is what happened, and we have to deal with it now, right? So here I'm finally able to find 2 lurkers together, and I am going to pick up a farming village first. Maybe it should have been a torturer first, I'm not sure, but we'll go with the farming village first. He does have our smugglers now, which is whatever. I don't really care too much about the smugglers because I have gain in lurkers, so it's not like I have to watch out and be too careful around his smugglers. So again, more trashing for my opponent. I believe these are the last 3 coppers and starting cards in his deck. He picks up a vassal here, so all well and good. He's probably thin enough to make that work at this point. Again, single lurker means I just trash doctor for fun, and this is going to be a terrible doctor, I believe. I name estate and reveal 3 coppers. Woohoo! Not good. Here I'm not gonna buy anything. I pick up 2 points for my troubles, so not looking good here for me. My opponent has what, a market now, the vassal. Really is just for him to start building the torturer chain and to knock me completely out of the game. With a little bit of draw, he can make more use of his lurkers, so he can definitely trash and gain every turn if he's able to see all of them, right? He won't be struggling with single lurkers like this. Lurker is a strange card because, alright, if you pick up one, right, and your opponent picks up none, then you're fine, right? You're fine putting attractive targets into the bin because only you could fish it out of the bin. However, if you pick up one and your opponent picks up one, then it's sort of a strange situation where none of you wants to put attractive targets into the bin for fear of the other person fishing it out with their lurker. Of course, it depends on shuffles and whatnot, but at some point you're going to be taking a risk with single lurkers. So I don't know, you can't let your opponent have one, but then you having one yourself isn't necessarily that useful sometimes. I'm not sure. So maybe then you want to go for a pair, right? So if you have a pair in hand, then that's real good for you. You're guaranteed to get something you want. I don't know, it's just a strange interaction that I'm still getting used to here. I do pick up a catapult on my last turn because the doctor isn't getting the business done. Isn't getting the business done at all, so I need to supplement my trashing and try to catch up. He has quite a good turn here, right? This, in my mind, should have been farming village, torturer, peddler. Instead he picks up silver and gold and peddler. Now, I was happy to see it. Pretty happy to see him pick up silvers and golds instead of torturers, most importantly. So I'm just going to keep playing here, trying to build the torturer chain at some point, right? So now I have this pair of lurkers, I'll go for torturers. I have a couple of villages in the deck now, should be able to support that terminal play. And I'm getting marginally thinner. My catapult trash and estate last turn, so maybe we're okay. Maybe okay. This is a bit of a stall turn for my opponent. Quite unfortunate, honestly, for him to have that kind of turn, but for me to catch up here, those are the kind of turns I need to see from my opponent. He does get a farming village, which is still good for a stall turn, still pretty good for a stall turn given the state of his deck. I do pick up finally my first torturer here, and this doctor is going to continue to chip away at the deck too. So we're coming along slowly, but my opponent should be way ahead by this point. At this point too, I also noticed there's a nice interaction with catapult and torturer. So if your draws are nice, you can catapult to make your opponent discard first, then start to torture them. That's nice. That's very nice. It's like Goon's torturer. So now my opponent jumps on the torturer train, picking up one himself and a couple of villages. So here, if you've noticed too, villages are very pressured. Extremely pressured. They're the only source of plus action, and there's lots of things you want to play. Giants and torturers and vassals sometimes. Vassals don't have to use up an action, but it might. Smugglers, a doctor, a catapult, all these things, and there's only 10 villages, and you have to contest, compete with them, compete for them with your opponent, sorry. So, it's an extremely precious pile here, and you have to try to like not lose the split, right? If you lose the village split, you probably lose the game here. So, I'm going to now trash a lurker out of the pile, not really sure why. The single lurkers, they don't really know what to do with them. I could just not play them, honestly, but I don't know. I want to let my opponent know I have it. So here his vassal actually misses, another unfortunate turn for him there. But like I said, I need to see these kind of turns for me to come back in the game. And actually I'm able to launch my torturer first, which is nice. Makes him discard a little bit. The discard attack is going to hurt here. It is going to hurt here. So here I now pick up a market out of the deck because I don't know, I'm dumb. No, because the plus buy might be important to pick up peddlers. I think that's what I want to go for here. Peddler alongside whatever it is that I purchase. So here only 4, and I think this should have been a farming village purchase for me. Actually 5. Never mind, 5. Pick up a lurker here. So now I have 4 lurkers. So if I could see everything, I could potentially gain 2 cards out of the supply. I have no more actions, so that prompts me to pick up a farming village here instead of a torturer, I believe. And of course the peddler along the way. Now, Piles are extremely thin, extremely thin. Peddlers could vanish very quickly, and in fact, I don't pick up a peddler, my apologies, just because of how thin the piles are. Lurkers are cheap, easy to buy, and also we have lurkers in our deck, which means my opponent can just empty the lurker pile by playing all of his lurkers. Bang, 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 and it's gone. He has a couple buys from his market, there's a couple peddlers gone. Easy. Right? And then the farming villages are thin. He has the smugglers as well, so he could smuggle a farming village here and further reduce that pile. So things are looking very scary, and he has a big points advantage with the points he has from keep. Right? Apparently he has the lead in all treasures, copper, silver, gold. Definitely silver and gold because I have none of those, but the copper, I wasn't keeping track of the copper count too much here. Alright, so 9 and 3 buys for my opponent. Again, it looks like farming village, torturer, peddler is real safe for him here. Extremely safe, especially with the points cushion that he has. So he does pick up a farming village and torturer, but no peddler. I don't know why he didn't pick up a peddler there. I mean, surely he should be smelling blood here. I mean, even the doctors are low because some fool has been putting all of them into the bin. So here I'm able to torture him a little bit. I only have the one torturer. I need to get more. So that well, obviously I can draw more cards, right? Make you better use of my lurkers. Here I could have done this better, right? Before triggering that shuffle with the farming village, I could have gained that torturer and then tried to go looking for the torturer. Instead, something different happens. I gain the torturer, and now I'm going to top deck it by using the doctor here to get rid of one of my curses. Well, the only one of my curses. So now I've top decked it plus our lurker. That's not so attractive, but whatever. I've done it. Also with the lurker, right? You could catapult all manner of crap and then just fetch it back with the lurker. Action cards, of course. So you could catapult peddlers at people and then just dig it back out. Well, you can't dig back out the peddler, I think. No, I think you could dig back out the peddler from the trash, which is crazy town. Crazy town. Lurker has so many interactions with the trash here. Well, it just has the one interaction with the trash, but if there's things that could put things into the bin, then you have to start thinking about Lurker combos. So I pick up a silver there just to try to get some points. Because I see the end of the game, right? And my opponent has another bad turn here. I don't understand how he's having so many bad turns. His deck is a lot better than that. A lot better than that. And he gets a gold here. I guess just cementing his points advantage with the keep for that treasure. I really don't think I'm going to get 2 gold to contest that. I'm poor. I don't have that kind of money. So here I think I'm able to play a couple torturers on him. No, I actually miss out on playing another torturer on him, which is bad. But I do find 4 lurkers, which means I could gain a couple things from the supply. So I have to gain a farming village if I want to have chances of doing things, meaningful things. It does empty the pile, but I think it's something that I have to do. And here I'm gonna fling a silver at him just to make him discard. It also puts a curse in his deck, but mostly for the discard attack. Just to get the curse nice and mixed up with his other cards here. So the doctor now using it just to trigger a shuffle so that I'm able to top deck village and a couple torturers, which is nice. So here I regain my silver for the 5 points and a copper to make my opponent discard it. Also could be for keep, right? Maybe I could sneak 1 or 2 coppers more than my opponent and get points for the keep, right? Because keep is really wild. So I picked up the silver, right? Which means I get 5 points. So my opponent has 5 points for silver, I have 5 points for silver. If I pick up 1 more silver, I take 5 points away from him. So all in all, that's a 10-point swing for 2 silvers. That's kinda wild. kinda wild. So here again, another weak turn for my opponent. I'm really not sure how this is happening to him here. Things aren't coming together for him. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what's going on that side of the table. I can't see in his hand, right? But I'm finding my torturers, which I'm happy about. I could play this doctor here before the peddler, and I think I do, just to make sure I don't draw into crap. Make sure I could draw all the way till the end of the deck, and well, look at that, I can. So it means now I am gonna fish a market out from the supply here. I have to start thinking about ways for me to end the game, right? Maybe I can buy a province here, and then that puts me on level points with him. Market gives me access to more peddlers for a pile out, etc, etc. So he takes a couple curses here, so almost assuredly I am going to use this catapult on the copper to force him to discard. Also, the markets allows me to pick up more coppers, which might give me keep points, right? Might give me that 10-point swing. Wild. Just from picking up a handful of coppers. Not even a handful. I think I pick up 2 here and I get on par with the number of coppers he has. I'm not sure. Not sure. So here, look, I've used up all my actions, right? So I'm constrained. I would love to play more torturers, but I can't. I'm stuck playing 3 torturers, a doctor sometimes, and a catapult. I can't do more than that. So I'm just gonna pick up the province here for some points advantage and a couple coppers. So there, right? I get 5 points for picking up 2 coppers. So it means we both have 2 coppers in our deck. That's crazy. That you could get 5 points for picking up 2 coppers. At this point, I am going to take 1 curse and then maybe discard if he plays the other torturer. He only has 2, right? So I only have to worry about that at most 2 times. And it seems like he's stringing together a turn here. Finally, it's long overdue for something like this. But nope, no second torturer, just enough for a province and a couple coppers. So that swings the keep points back in his favor. So this happens a lot in keep games. People just end up going back and forth buying coppers and silvers and golds and taking 5 points out of their opponent's total. This is really a different kind of game when keep is on the board sometimes. A lot of the times actually I find when keep is on the board. A stall turn for me here. I do at least get him to discard and I pick up a silver again for the keep and I pick up back some coppers. Just to swing the score back into my favor. So here I'm going to discard because, look, he played that torturer dead. Sorry about that noise, dropped a pen. He played that torturer dead, which means I may have a chance at piling out the game here. He goes for a couple silvers again to swing that keep back in his favor. With the 3 lurkers, I can probably pile out. Probably. Curse is also a pile under consideration. Alright, so there's a couple curses left. And I have the potential to empty the lurkers in hand already. So let's see what he does with this torturer. He takes a curse. He really probably shouldn't take a curse off the next one, because then that makes it fairly easy for me to pile out. It drops his score and I just need to empty the lurkers. I probably have enough money in hand to pick up province for the win, and he takes the curse. So that is the end of game 5 here. I had no business winning this game. No business. I felt like my opponent should have set up the village torturer thing much earlier. He should have used his trashing advantage to do that, instead of going after these smugglers and vassals and whatnot. But this is how it ends, right? I honestly had no business winning this game. I continue my doctor pile out just to be consistent. You know, I've put all the doctors in the bin. That's me. And I come up with enough for a province to close out the game. So that is game 5. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the last one.